So good evening, friends, once again to Run 75. This is the 41st session of Run 75, which talks about reskilling, upskilling, and acquiring new skills. Let me tell you today's topic, a very, very pertinent topic for each and every chartered accountants who are in profession or who are also in industry, managing people. As I was saying yesterday, that I was one of the panelists in a session, and it was discussed that when a person creates an organization or build an organization, what is more important for an organization to grow and be successful? And there were three choices. Choice number one, is it a good idea? Choice number two, is it a good team? And choice number three, is it a lot of money which is required, the seed capital? What is more relevant for the success of an organization? And we took a poll, and the answer to that was the team, the teamwork. It is the team which is going to be relevant and more important for growth and success of an organization. And as chartered accountants, we all know. In fact, Gaurav, today only I received a WhatsApp from one of the members to say, hey, can you help me with the HR policies? Can you help me with structuring my employees? Can you help me, design how we can motivate, retain, recruit employees into our organization? So this is something, being into the service industry, we need to be very, very sure that we should motivate our team members, we should encourage them, we should take them to the next level and retain them. Because what is happening is, when you see a client, one of your member, a key member who's working for a client, they understand the entire qualities, they understand the entire protocol, and they understand the entire protocol. And what happens is, if they leaves, the entire things falls down, because now either you have to get involved or you have to train your team back to make sure that the client gets enough quality work as it was happening in the past. So this is one very challenging thing which is very much required. So we are thankful to Gaurav, who is a subject expert and has been doing HR management and into recruitment, retaining, and creating that motivation to the team for a long time. And he's going to share a lot of tips and tips into that particular process. So that is number one. Number two, I would like to thank Shreya, who is such a young coordinator for today's session, to be a part of this very important drive on Run 75. Without any further ado, I request Shreya to please take this session forward.
Good evening, everyone. As we are more than halfway to Run 75 session, I would like to congratulate Team EIRC for this wonderful initiative. Today's session focuses on revolutionizing recruitment and HR practices for CAs to the strategic use of technology and franchising aimed at fostering organizational growth and efficiency. Without further ado, I would like to welcome the one with innovative mind, building recruitment exchange. He is a chartered accountant and Zavarian from Kolkata, and his unconventional path led him to become a recruitment entrepreneur, where he has spent over a decade building recruitment exchange into a leading recruitment consultancy powered by AI tools and a unique franchising network. Whether you're an HR professional seeking perfect talent for your company, an aspiring entrepreneur aiming to start a home-based recruitment business, or an edtech firm looking to enhance your HR and job training programs, Recruitment Exchange have revolutionized the industry. Beyond business, Sir is even dedicated to empowering job seekers through a free self-help portal and fostering international partnerships and support through Co-Founders Planet, a vibrant community of over 8,000 co-founders. Let's give a warm welcome to CA Gaurav Agarwal, sir, a true pioneering of recruitment and entrepreneurship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for that lovely introduction. And Sanjeev Bhaiya for this vibrant community as well. You have always been pioneering this entire effort and doing so much for the community. We all are really thankful to your efforts. So without further ado, let us deep dive into the topic. I'll quickly share my screen. Just let me know if the same is visible or not. So today's topic will be transforming the recruitment and HR practices for the chartered accountant professionals. So we'll mostly focus on leveraging the AI technology and the franchising for growth. We'll also be uploading the same on our social handles as well. So let's get started. So we all start with our introduction, right? Everyone, wherever we go, be it an event or an online event like this, we always start with our introduction. So the introduction, I have said that we should always be ready with our elevator pitch. Now, what is an elevator pitch? Okay. Elevator pitch simply means you have, say, around 30 seconds, you are in an elevator, you have your dream connect, and or any new person, you will have to introduce yourself. How will you introduce yourself? So if I'll have to introduce myself, I have this framework as well in front of you guys, wherein if I am to introduce myself, I'll say, hi, I am Gaurav Agarwal, the founder of RecX. We specialize in providing recruitment services to companies having more than a million turnover, helping them solve recruitment issues, team hiring issues, team building issues. What sets us apart is our AI tools and the pin code based franchise network. And I would love to discuss how we can help you to recruit talent within 48 hours. Can we quickly schedule a call, maybe for 22 minutes next week, to explore this further? So, what do you understand by this elevator pitch? Some of the key components, I have put the placeholders as well. You should keep in mind that the entire elevator pitch, your own introduction, it should be concise, it should be clear and direct, it should be tailored to your audience. So obviously when you speak to any party which is a too casual party, you cannot be too formal in all these introduction, versus when you are in a gathering of professionals, the elevator pitch essentially differs. And the most important element, practice, practice, and practice, the elevator pitch, which I'm talking about. So, this is the first part of every individual. How do you introduce yourself? And hope this particular format will help you. And I would like to hear from some of you as well. You can probably use the chat box and just write some of the key elements which are mentioned here, like your name, what is your company, your specific service, what you are providing, say in your CA professional, are you specializing in GST, or you are specializing in F&A outsourcing, or you are only into finance accounts management. So all these things with what is your USP, that is very, very critical. If you are not ready with this, be what you will not, you will be probably another professional providing the same line of service. It is highly important to decommoditize your offering. Please don't enter into the herd of being a commoditized professional. Okay, all right, moving on. So today's focus, what will the entire webinar cover today? First is we'll be focusing on building a winning team. As we all know, a strong team is the foundation of any successful business. You will often not see $1 million business being created, or a big business being created only through solopreneurs. These are quite exceptional cases. So we will discuss how to build a team that thrives and achieves its goals. Second, I have a free HR toolkit for all the participants out here. This HR toolkit is filled with resources. It will help you manage your team effectively. And I often get things like, boss, send me the joining mail, send me the offer letter, what is the format of appointment letter. So all these things we have tried to collate in the free HR toolkit, and I'll be sharing that free HR toolkit with everyone. Next is I'll be covering very critical areas like hiring the right team, giving effective feedback to the team members, the steps for scientific appraisal, and firing the wrong people. So these 4 steps, starting from hiring, managing the team, as well as exit of the people who are non-performers or not culturally fit, will be covered, and you can take it as the key takeaways. Now, of course, the power of networking and collaboration. We'll try and explore that bit as well, which essentially will foster the growth and success for every organization. Now, moving on, talking about the role of strong team. So, whenever we are talking about a very strong team, we must have heard this quote multiple times that you are the average of 5 people you hang out with. So, whenever you are building your strong team, do remember some of the traits which has to be there when you are building a very clear and very goal-oriented team. First is the team cannot, or any team member cannot work in silo. So it essentially happens that team members work together in a team, maybe through a hybrid environment, through virtually, through a physical setup, whatever it is. There should be a collaborative environment wherein we, embrace the idea sharing and supporting all the team members. Second is a diverse team with different perspectives, different experiences. It will help you. I spoke about the commoditization and decommoditization. It always helps to foster the right kind of an innovation which is required in the fast changing world today. Then, of course, the complementary skill sets. You cannot actually, I cannot re-emphasize, or it will be to skills is equal to money. As simple as that. So whenever you are finding the app team members, do find people who are having well-rounded skills, at least now powered by AI. Okay. Now talking about the 3 very, very critical questions which every entrepreneur, every CA professional should be asking whenever they are working or whenever they are performing any, strategic decisions or whenever they are jumping into their own business. First question, where exactly we are in the journey of entrepreneurship. So we should actually analyze the current scenario in terms of what problem we are solving, what is the solution that is there, whether at all the problem has over the years changed, the solution, the market available solution, the competitors have approached the same in the different manner. What kind of market opportunity exists now? So if we are talking about AI right now, right? So does AI have any impact on your own business? What can be the elements of AI which you can use to probably excel in your operations? What kind of traction you are sitting on? As in, what is your turnover? What kind of top line you are doing? What is your EBITDA? How many team members are probably achieving that? What is your customer acquisition cost, all these elements, and the current team which is making it possible where we are right now. And essentially, after we realize where we are, it is critical to also, have a very set, clear goal where we want to reach in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, right? And after we know where we are and where we want to reach, how we can actually reach there, what gaps are to be filled. Though we think that capital is probably a very big gap, but mostly we have seen through our clients while speaking to the MSME owners that most of the things are being done by the owners themselves. Okay, so it is very, very important to understand that it cannot be only a one-man show. It has to be a wholesome team working towards the entire goal fulfillment. All right. Now, taking you through how we have analyzed ourselves, what I spoke about, right, where we are in our journey. So I'll quickly take you through the regex document itself, right? How we see it, how the entire thing, probably this will give you a clear idea, probably a template, how you can also prepare your own document of answering these three questions. So when I say what is regex, regex, we say it is a new age recruitment consultancy leveraging the AI and pin code based partner network to ensure better quality candidates for companies. The problem statement that we are solving is current recruitment methods are inefficient and struggle with scalability and specialization. So the agency business have problem of scalability. Now our solution is very simple. We address the earth scale problem of recruitment by using the AI tools and the local partner network to enhance the recruitment processes. Now, it is very important to understand the market opportunity. So when I talk about the market opportunity, say in our space, it will is projected to reach $56 billion by 2030, growing at a CAGR of 12.8%. And what kind of things do we require? Say, we might say that, okay, we are seeking funds to scale our operation and enhance the AI capabilities. What kind of market size this kind of a business is having? I've spoken about the global market size. Indian market, please remember, it is filled with 19,000 unique pin codes. And the kind of market size it is having in INR is 34,200 crore. All right. And where we see ourselves in 2.2 years, we can say we want to achieve, say, 1% of the market. So we will be probably touching a mark of close to 342 CR. Okay. And what kind of revenue model, how we will achieve this 342 crore, where from the revenues will come, right? So the revenue comes from the different models, like one is the recruitment. We are following a paper hire model wherein we take between 8.33% to 22% of the gross salary. We are providing staffing services, payroll services, compliance services. We are providing training services like career accelerator programs, recruiter efficiency program, and of course, our flagship, the franchise program as well. Now, this is again an internal document which actually talks about where is the problem in the industry, what existing players are doing, and what is our solution. And you should all have this document handy with you to actually gaze at the possibility of where you can become that white elephant. Probably, say I am just probably trying and give you our context and example. You need to probably give it to you in your particular industry, in your particular business. So in our business, the traditional agency are having limited scalability. So our solution is we are trying to build a pin code based partner recruiter network. So it's a very time consuming process for a traditional agency, and we are trying to implement technology and AI tools for the operational excellence. Of course, there are huge skill gaps. So it's very critical to and very difficult to locate the right kind of specialized recruiters as well with deep industry knowledge. So what we have done is we have created SOPs, very strong SOPs. It's a 35-pager document. Plus, we have currently added 15 more pages to it with our own AI prompts, right? So these kind of SOPs will help us, even, those people who are having less experience can quickly adapt, and the experience of our customers pan India is exactly the same whenever they are dealing with our members. Next is commoditization. I have probably twice or thrice I've used this term. Commoditization is a very big problem, my friends. Even you will relate to it if you are thinking about any kind of agency business, be it in the HR space or finance and accounting spaces. You will find too many players, like a mom and pop shop out there in all these agency kind of a business. So how do you essentially decommoditize? So talking about myself, I was in the agency business. I was running a business known as SMVA Consultants. So we consciously made this decision, and last year itself, we redeveloped, we rebranded everything to Regex. Now, the only idea behind why Regex is recruitment exchange. People could quickly relate to the brand name. Plus, we could easily decommoditize ourselves. We could say that, hey, we are not any other recruitment agency or any other traditional recruitment house. What we do is something different. What we deliver is something different. and what we promise is, it's more like an under promise over delivery kind of mechanism that regex follows. So hope you are making the existing internal document whenever working for your own company. Now, another document, I mean, it's very important to keep on learning from where you are and where you are standing in the business itself. So when we sold franchises on pan India basis, say more than 40 franchises we sold across 11 cities of India, we learned that, boss, there were some I would say mistakes that we our team did, our vendors did, our franchise brokers might have done. So what were the learnings from those pilots? So if we talk about the franchise, it is nothing but micro entrepreneurship, right? So that is where we were thinking was, how can the same model be replicated in multiple cities? Because the problem is there in multiple areas as well. So we have learned from the pilots, and what we have done is, our why regex for collaboration? Our point is very simple. We are scaling the partner network. It is an innovative marketplace approach and very highly operational driven, SOP driven approach. And we believe in competition versus collaboration. So what it means is, even big staffing agency, right? So you talk about the listed companies as well in our segment. So all of them struggle for fulfilling the positions. Can we become partners to them as well? Can we collaborate with them as well? And this is what sort of the learnings that we have sort of acquired through our franchise process as well. So till now, any queries, I'm happy to take a detailed Q&A thing as well. But till now, is the thing going on good? You want me to change my pace? You want me to, repeat some points? Happy to hear that.
No, sir, all good.
All right. Thank you so much. So these were some of the learnings that we did. I'm not going deep into the detail. So for your own business, you need to figure out, if at all you have experimented, you have done some R&D, what kind of learnings that you have gained from the pilots that you have done. Okay. Now, regex, I've already told, it's a 3-level filtration leveraging AI tools and franchise network that we have done. So when we say where we are, so 138 plus active client SLAs, 65 plus paying clients, experience of 40 plus franchise network, 500 plus open positions, and up to 30 plus successful placements we are doing monthly. So on a daily basis, we recruit one person for our client. And for our free self-help job portal, as CA professionals or even as entrepreneurs, you must be having people in your family or people who says, boss, can you refer me somebody? Can you ask somebody to get him placed? So all these things through the self-help free job portal, we are trying to make an impact. Now, while I was talking about the competitor analysis, where we are in our business. So in our business, there are 3 kind of models. And I have added, see, this is where the CA bit comes in. So these kind of things you can easily get where the financials are of these kind of companies. We all know how to, get the details where these private limited companies, LLP kind of companies are standing in terms of their turnover. Say permanent recruitment is there, contractual is there, for marketplace approach and the franchise network. So we are in between the 2 and 3. So we are easily able to place ourselves as well where in the business model we are. And our competitive analysis, we say, boss, regex offers a competitive pricing, and our profile, our target market is very clear. We serve between 3 lakhs to 18 lakhs kind of a business model. And somewhere we are also trying to now fill the gap of 18 lakhs to 30 lakhs. Now, comprehensive services include like provide training, portal access, the marketing support, the real-time support as well. So this is how the team is structured. Now, I'll draw your attention to the 2 elements out here. So in the entire team structure, if you'll notice, we have added 1, the pin code. 2nd, we have added the language proficiency. We cannot forget the fact that in any kind of agency business or any service-oriented business, it is very important that the human touch is there, that element of vernacular is there. So if somebody wants to talk in Telugu, we have team set who was proficient in that language from Hyderabad. If somebody is eager to talk in another vernacular language, say in Bengali, so we have people based out of Kolkata who are doing that. We have people from Surat. So all these locations are there. These are our permanent people, apart from the franchise network that already is there. So now again about the target market, we are very clear. So in the revenue, so in the last 1 year, whatever the clients that has given us revenue, be very, very conscious and try and say a no to people who do not pay you well. This is a very big problem in the agency market, that we try and involve our team members for the clients which can never give us billing. Please, for the team's sake, never work for clients who are troubling your team members. So our team is very happy delivering. So this is after discussion with the team members, after the discussion with their delivery people, that boss, what is your comfort zone? So whenever you are working, talking to your team members, handling the team, please have more and more review, have a clear discussion with them that where lies their comfort zone. So in our case, we have clearly stated like FMCG, retail, e-commerce, financial services, FMCD, IT, ITES, US mortgage, EdTech. These are some of our favorite zones. Like, say for example, the COFAS being in the risk analysis stage, a steel manufacturing company, a paper manufacturing company like Starkray, Cycle Brand Agarbatti, Coca-Cola, a school based out of Ambikapur, and Singhi and Company. These two are friends in the chartered accountant domain itself. So this is sort of, can say more like a PR activity where we are, and more than PR, it's part of our networking, right? So how we have become the best HR franchise network, how we have become a best recruiting platform. We have released a guide for the job seekers, get your dream job without approaching recruiters. That's available on Amazon as well. Have been a part of learning exercise continuously. I mean, I have a trend and a habit every week sitting minimum 2 hours giving myself to the learning exercise. So I am Kashipur as well as Stanford as well. Very, very thankful to the network and the alma mater. I've been part of the BNI. So all these kind of things as the business owner, right? You will have to take the ownership that you are there all out. Okay. Now, talking about the HR toolkit, which I was specifying, right? So let me quickly jump to how the HR toolkits look like. And the HR toolkits will provide you the hiring templates, the performance evaluation forms, and the training resources, which will be probably very, very helpful for the professional development of your entire team as well. Okay, so that's how the HR toolkit looks like. It is prepared for all of you, a comprehensive toolkit for the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. Now, it's been divided into two prime element. One includes the essential talent acquisition websites for the SMBs, and the part B is the essential templates which will help you in the day-to-day HR operations and functions. I'm pretty sure with this kind of an HR toolkit, you might not require an HR as well. Okay, so it includes how do you analyze a JD. So one of my favorite tool, of course, is ChatGPT. And apart from that, these are very utility focused tools which can be used whenever you are maintaining the HR functions of your organization as well. So when we are talking about the JD analysis, so creation of JD can be done through the ChatGPT or the Grammarly, Gemini, and then rechecking it through the Grammarly, Workable, Recruity, and Toolbars. Then the recruitment strategy, a very, very powerful and free website for most of you. We often do not use that. LinkedIn gives us as as a member, minimum one job post is free. You can actually use that one job post reutilize that job post after closing that and reusing probably today I post a BD manager post. Secondly, I post like a finance manager post. So you can recycle that particular job posting which LinkedIn gives you. Then, some free plan is there where you can post one job monthly and 5 interviews you can conduct through the website Easy Hire and also IM Jobs. For the interview process, the tools which will help is Springworks and obviously another tool that we have given from the University of New Hampshire. Now, the website, which is very important for the candidate assessment. Okay, so things like Test Gorilla, Speed Exam, Mentimeter, Eklavya, Survey Monkey. These are some of the things you can test. You can utilize at your own pace, at your own see where these tools are fitting your organization and your use case as well. Now, the ATS, right? Whenever you are a large organization, say, I'm talking about the things where you are touching over 100 team members as well, right? So ATS becomes very, very important. The application tracking system. So there are tools like Zoho Recruit, Breezy HR, Mighty Recruiter, which can help you in that process. And onboarding experience, very, very important. So whenever the candidate is getting recruited in your organization, how they are being handled, how the onboarding is happening. So you can use free up to 5 users like Zoho people, Credly, the Boardon. And then for the training and development, it's continuously how you are managing the team, training those folks as well. Co-assemble is there, talent LMS, all these things will definitely help you. Some are free and some might cost you as well. Always recommended to use first the free trial, and then once it fits your use case, then goes for the paid version. The market insights, you can get it from the HR Katha, the People Matter, ETHR World. These kind will give you how the HR market is responding, how the people, the employees availability is there, what kind of industry, in terms of people management, how these industries are working, how your particular use case is there, right? And some of the essential templates which I spoke about, which includes the hiring module we have given, how you can set up the job description, in the onboarding kit, what kind of documents might be there, in the hiring module, how do you prepare the job description, some templates, some formats are there. When performance management is there, right? You are talking to people, then how do you manage their performance? How do you evaluate these things as well? And of course, the exit process. It has to be very, very seamless, clear, and fair for all your team members. Okay. Now, this has been created in collaboration with TiE Kolkata, 2Coms, Trust Club, and Regex, of course. Okay. Now, moving on. Hopefully, I'll also try and share this over the email for all the attendees, the entire flipbook as well for the HR toolkit. Okay. Now, moving back to our main presentation. So guys, HR toolkit, I always spoke about what actually you are getting, a bundle pack which functions as your online HR assistant. Okay. Now, before I deep dive into the steps of recruitment, how you are hiring the people. So we see these are the 7 standard departments for most of the organizations. Okay. One is the management, the leadership, the CEO, the managing directors. Second is the R&D department, the research and development department. So I always spoke about the continuous innovation, what kind of activities that you keep on doing. Some department, some people should be set for the R&D, human resources, because team makes or breaks the entire business. It gives you the right kind of top line which you desire. So HR department is there. Then of course the finance and accounts department, marketing department, sales department, and operations department. Now, how the recruitment process looks like whenever you are trying to work it on your own. Because as the captain of the ship, as the entrepreneur, as the business person, you should set up these processes for your organization. So if I talk about the recruitment process itself, the first step for hiring the right people is defining the job roles. We use in our recruiter lingo the word JD, job description. So you need to clearly define the job description for each of the role in each of the departments which I spoke about, and outline their KRAs, the key responsibility areas. And when you are outlining their KRAs, already where the skill set gap is there, what kind of skill sets will help you achieve your goals. So this will actually, when you define the job role, you are halfway there. Next comes the sourcing strategy. So I gave you some of the free sourcing strategy like LinkedIn job post, or you need to clearly define whether you are doing it in-house or you intend to outsource it. Whether you want to leverage only your own employee pool, or you are going to give in certain other networks as well, which you are a part of. So your sourcing strategy should be clearly defined in terms of proper outreach to your people as well. It should not happen that, boss, today you have a project for which needs to be maintained, which need to be delivered. It needs to follow a turnaround time. You cannot wait forever, or probably try and keep the job description open forever, say 3 months, 6 months time. Try and have a set target that, boss, today the opening is there. I'm going to fulfill the same job vacancy within, say, 15 days. So my project start date, say, is 1st of August. So am I able to recruit a person, say, by 15th of July? So after your sourcing strategy is defined clear, think about the screening and selection criteria as well. You should implement. So imagine a case. The JD is ready. You have floated the requirement at multiple places. Now you have started getting the resumes. Okay. So now when you start getting the resumes, how you are managing that flow of CVs, how you are handling the screening of those applications that are coming. And when you are done with the screening, what your selection process looks like, right? So say, if I give you our example, our own Regex example. So after we are clear with the job description that, okay, giving another same example of BD manager, we say that we require a BD manager for location Bangalore. It is a hybrid role, and say the job, the salary starts for for 2 years experience, say 6 lakh rupees. For 5 years experience, we'll pay up to 12 lakh rupees. So that is sort of clear in the JD. Our sourcing strategy is defined. Okay, we will use say an external agency for that, or probably for screening these people who want to apply. They have to fill up a Google form, and in the Google form, all the questions are written. What a preliminary round, what we need for the preliminary screening itself, right? So one of the questions might be, do you have industry experience? How many years of experience you have? How many big ticket closures that you have done? What has been your revenue generation for your own company in last 6 months? How do you manage your day? All these kind of things can be a part of your, say, in our case, it's a part of our Google form. From the Google form responses, one of the person reviews that okay, these industry experiences there. This guy is handling a scale of more than, say, a 50 lakh book value positions, has created more than 10 clients per month, kind of a hit ratio. That is where we go to the next round. So that the next round happens as the first round with a human, as in the TL of that particular department. So say when we are talking about the BD, so the BD manager belonging to the marketing department or the sales department, where the vacancy is, will take the interview, the first screening round for that. After that particular thing happens, we then, after we get the review, it can be, say, an owner's. Okay. Here also the AI plays a very critical role. So there are AI tools right now in place wherein you can, so we are using an in-house tool wherein we upload the resumes, all the resumes that come to us. and the AI tool does the ranking and gradation basis our skill sets or our job description. So the main outreach goes only to the ranked candidates who have done well till in the screening process. Then the onboarding ensure a very honest, smooth onboarding experience for the new hires, because one very important problems, or often we have seen the new employees fear the older lot, like more like a college ragging kind of an approach. So you need to see whether the proper integration is happening in the team. So whether we, for in our case, we follow a mentor mentee approach. So we assign to each of the team member a buddy manager. Okay, so buddy manager handholds the person for the initial, say, 15 days of time. So these are some of the things which you can actually try and implement in your organization as well. Repeating steps of hiring the right people, defining the job roles, sourcing strategies, screening and selection, and then onboarding. Now, when you talk about the person is onboarded, how you are managing that team member, it is important to give effective feedback to the team members. Now, some of the components of giving effective feedback involves the feedback should be specific, which actually addresses their actions and behavior. And it should be delivered promptly through the buddy manager, through the TL for the particular use case. Then comes, it has to be constructive and balanced. You should focus on both positive as well as the areas which requires improvement. And you should provide them, boss, this is where you are lacking. And these are your actionable steps, how you can improve that area. How you can say, okay, you did not handle, in our case, say, a client rejection properly, or you did not handle a client within a turnaround time. You had to deliver a return within these due date, you could not do. So all these things you need to provide very actionable insights for the growth of that individual. It has to be constructive and balanced. Now, again, it has to be, create a very safe and open environment for the feedback as well. Whenever you are giving effective feedback to them, follow the mutual respect policy. It has to be very respectful and open. You cannot, since you are probably at a pedestal or a designation senior to that person, you cannot reprimand that person. It has to be very full of mutual respect whenever you are talking to your team members. And yes, very actionable and goal oriented. Feedback should provide the clear steps and with the timeline as well. That, okay, these were the areas which requires consistent improvement. Say you are lacking into this, you can probably go for these kind of online courses or these kind of things you can do to improve these areas. Or probably YouTube is a vast source of learning. You can go to these kind of channels, try and learn these elements as well. So it has to be actionable and goal oriented for the team members. Now, your team members are hired, recruited, onboarded. You are providing them feedbacks as well. Every individual team member expects appraisal. It cannot be that, somebody who is more, who's closer to the senior management should be getting, more appraisal. That should not happen ideally. So there has to be a scientific process for defining the appraisal. So whenever you say, it cannot be on your own whims and fancy that, okay, I'll give 5% to Mr. X. He was very good to me. I'll give, say, 25% to him. He actually dropped me today when my car broke. So I think those are very silly reasons. So whenever you're talking about the appraisal, it has to be follow a very scientific method. And again, all these part forms your SOPs. It should be clearly defined, very well defined in the SOPs. And if possible, it has to be communicated as well communicated to all the individuals. That, boss, we will be measuring you every year on the basis of these particular elements. So you should, very specific smart goals, right? Very specific measurable and actionable goals for all your team members. You should set those clear performance goals for them. You should develop the metrics and KPIs as well to track their progress. And this again comes as a part of your own feedback mechanism as well. And you should keep on collecting that data regularly. It should not happen that this is only being a part of your SOP, or a balanced scorecard is there as a part of your SOP. But are you actually implementing that in your organization? That actually makes or breaks. That is ideally the difference between a small company or a company which has scaled to a greater heights, right? And whether you are providing the regular feedback and coaching to these people as well. So, I mean, you can follow something like, one of our client does that learning Saturdays. Okay. So, or learning, feedback Fridays. So these kind of things, when you adapt, so you become a very employee friendly organization, right? And conduct the performance reviews and use those data to identify the areas for improvement. Guys, trust me, retaining the right team member is more important than only recruiting. Because what will happen is that recruiting, hiring itself needs your time and energy. That always bears a cost. So if you are not following a proper feedback mechanism or scientific appraisal process, you will never be able to retain these folks in the right manner as well. Okay. So that is one piece of advice which I've seen in most of the scaled companies. They follow a proper scientific appraisal process. All right. Now, hard step. So appraisal done. After appraisal, or probably during the feedback mechanism as well, you figure out that, boss, this person is not a fit for me. Cultural mismatch, or somewhere or the other the skill gap is there, not able to give me give the company the right kind of output that was desired. So some of the things which you should be very cautioned as a cautionary step, prepare before firing the wrong people as well. Again, this is again an internal document for all the entrepreneurs. Documentation. So first is, whenever you are, when I speak about the SOP, the communication of that SOP, that, boss, these are your KPIs, these are the matrices. If you do not achieve, you might stand a chance to lose your job. Plus, when you say documentation, it should also it also does refer to your appointment letter, the offer letter, what it actually says, whether that particular element of firing or giving notice period, what will be the buyout clause, all these things, whether these are clearly defined in your appointment letter or not, or your offer letter or not. Then handle the process with professionalism and respect. So respect is one underlying term which I've been using throughout, right? So even if the employee is leaving your organization, that person will actually become your brand ambassador over the years. Like, if they say, this was a very good employer. So, I was a part of an audit process with Unilever South Africa. So I loved some of the elements. So this was way back in 2012 when I was doing an audit in Unilever South Africa. So I still remember they had their coming with full respect and handling each of the people who have come for the audit purpose there, right? So now that context was different when we are doing an audit, but this context, even if you are firing the people, part ways on a good note, okay? And of course, ensure you're compliant with all the applicable labor laws and regulations. My friends, do not mess it up with the legal compliances. Okay. And yes, some of the support and resources to the departing employee as well, like a severance pay, the F&F, we say, the full and final settlement, it has to be very, closed timely. And there is another term which has been used in my slide, which is outplacement service. So this is again, one of the companies, a very trustable brand in India. The Tatas did it when they were, leaving a set of people from one of their plant, they engaged an outplacement consultant. So what does outplacement means? Was even if they are leaving my premises or my payroll, can you place them somewhere? And till the time they are getting placed, can we provide them that salary? Now, talking about the power of networking and collaboration. So, it is important for us to be a part of events, the industry led events. You should join professional organization and connect with the individuals in your own field. This will let you know where you are going and where the market is leading. And do not shy away from, when I say competition versus collaboration, try and collaborate with your fellow friends, your people in your own domain as well. You can always seek opportunities to collaborate with professionals, share your expertise and resources. It will always help you to achieve better top line, better results, and smooth goals as well. Now, some of the things which I'm going to repeat, the key elements for building a successful team. One is clearly defining the roles and responsibilities. I spoke about the JD. This was a part of the steps of recruiting the right people. Effective communication at all the levels, be it your first stage of recruitment, onboarding, feedback, or even when it comes to the exit process, right? So at all these levels, the communication has to be very clear, transparent, and it should always facilitate the collaboration and information sharing, right? Set very, very clear KPIs. The team goals and objectives should be clear that, hey, I'm going to reach, say, within 2.2 years, 100 crore mark. How do we do that? What are your recommendations? Where are we lacking? Be very much open to learning. And this helps the spot, like R&R, we say the recognition and reward, say small things like a probable game. If you introduce a person, you are getting 10,000 spot incentive. If you arrange, say, two interviews for, if you get two candidates who are relevant for my job vacancy, I'll offer you a dinner at JW Marriott. So these are the things which actually gives the right kind of booster to your team members as well. Yeah, so that's me. That's my time. How we have actually, tried and cover. You can actually connect with me on LinkedIn. This is, I'll be happy to address any question that you are having, any kind of issues that you are having, any kind of pointers with respect to hiring, franchise development, recruitment, all these, any of your issues which are very pertinent to the topics, probably some issues that you want to understand and understand in your use case as well. I'll be happy to cover that as well. So that's my time. So are we good to wrap up then? If we do not have any queries from any attendees?
So no queries are unaddressed. So now I'd like to thank you for this insightful session on improving hiring and HR practices for CA. We appreciate your advice on teamwork, responsibility, giving constructive feedback, and building connections. Your ideas on using technology and expanding business were really helpful. Thanks again for sharing your knowledge with us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.